Hello, everyone. Welcome to Conversations with Curious Minds. If you're wondering what that is, go back and watch the conversation Big Brain has had with Mr. Harish Bhatt. This is the second one in the series, and I'm going to have a conversation with another curious mind. But before we get there, let me talk a little bit about the journey Tata Crucible has had, both the campus and the corporate version of it. I think the entire Tata Crucible quiz has been about curious minds, right? It's all about quizzers, but it's also about the people who appreciate knowledge and appreciate quizzing as a sport. So I have seen this time and again, and Tata Crucible caters to this entire audience that we have out there. And Tata Crucible itself, of course, is the Wimbledon of quizzing, as Big Brain says, and winning that coveted title is, I'm sure Anand would say it on his own, that is out of the world.
Yes.
So with me here today is Anand Raj, the reigning champion of Tata Crucible this quiz. Anand, thank you so much for joining me for this conversation.
Thank you, Rashmi, for having me for this conference.
Let me tell you a little bit about Anand. He's an alumnus of NIT Jamshedpur and he's working at Steel Authority of India in Bokaro. So Anand, let me quickly get into the conversation here today. So tell me, how did the entire journey of quizzing begin for you?
Like Rashmi, I did my schooling from Hindi medium government school, and we didn't have that any exposure to such things called quizzes and all. The first exposure I actually had when I reached NIT Jamshedpur in 2003. And there I met a bunch of people, bunch of students who are actually very passionate about quizzing, making quiz clubs and all. And then I got to know that they are the serious quizzers from their school days. And still they could not, got me into what they were doing. And when I joined TCS in 2007 at Kolkata, I fortunately became their roommate. And they, on the weekends, they were having some, weekend quiz and all among themselves. And one day I was just sitting and watching the TV. And one of the questions from, I think, Ramayana. And I used to have, and I can say that, yes, I'm having a good, decent knowledge of Ramayana and Mahabharata, the Hindu mythology. And just answered that question. And they were like, how do you know this and all? And they asked me to join their group. And you can say, yes, this is how I started my quizzing journey. And as far as business quizzes is concerned, that all started on a serious way when I joined SAIL Bokaro in 2011. So you can call me an accidental quizzer, not mean to be a quizzer, but yes, it happened.
Well, a lot of good things in life just happen, right? So I'm guessing this is one such thing that's happened for you. So tell me, I heard from my sources that there have been large hoardings and posters of yours after you won Tata Crucible in your office. So first, I want to know if that is true. And second thing I want to know is, how has life changed after becoming the champion?
Yes, that is true that my company has put up the hoardings. Actually, I never expected this. Quizzing is a very personal thing to me. And I never actually expected my management to support in this way. But when I won the Crucible, I got call from the top management, including the Honorable Chairman ma'am. And then she put a message on the Twitter congratulating me for winning this Crucible. And then after 3 or 4 days, I saw that there is a posters in township with that tweet message from Chairman ma'am and my picture, like congratulating me. And they also put the hoardings inside the plant where I actually work. And yes, this was something, I never thought of. And it feels really good. Like the way my management appreciated my effort and the feat of winning the coveted title of Tata Crucible. So that is something, it really feel very good to be part of this organization who appreciated my efforts in this way.
So I'm very sure the way people look at you has changed now, right? I mean, Anand Raj is my friend. I work with him. Those things should have happened now.
I will tell you a funny story also. Like my the newspaper hawker and the milkman who come to my place to deliver. They ask me, "Bhaiya, आपने ऐसा क्या किया है कि आपका ऐसा poster लगा हुआ है and all." And they tell to people that I know this man, मैं इसका deliver करता हूँ and all. And of course, your friends and family also take pride in whenever you achieve something like this. And one interesting story I would like to tell you, Rashmi, like our director in charge, who is the head of the Bokaro steel plant, he invited me for the felicitation ceremony, and he invited all the senior management in a conference room. And he himself told that he participated in Crucible around 2006 or 7. And that time he thought that someone from this organization can win this or not. He had a kind of dream that someone from organization of ours like SAIL or BSL should go and win this quiz. And he said that like it's a kind of vicarious feeling, like, for him, that me winning Tata Crucible. So that is something management has appreciated my efforts.
Lovely. Dreams coming true at Tata Crucible. That's amazing. So Anand, this is about how people around you are admiring you for your achievement, right? How do you feel about it?
For me, quizzing, I just told you, Rashmi, quizzing very personal thing to me. And Tata Crucible is something like Giri sir always tell that it's a Wimbledon of Indian business quizzing. And if you play tennis, even if you're amateur or professional, you'd always want the Wimbledon trophy in your kitty. You'd love to have. So that is something. And yes, dreams do come true. I always dreamed of winning Tata Crucible. I would like to share a story about like the coveted Tata Crucible trophy. In 2017, we reached national finals, and that was happening at that Taj Mahal Palace at Mumbai. And Naveen in that quiz from Hyderabad, he just blazed away and didn't give chance to me. And at the position we were sitting in, the trophies were just kept kept behind us. And then Giri sir asked us to pass the trophy, to just hold the trophy and give it to, so that we can give it to Naveen and all. So that day I told to my partner that we have to win this trophy, come what may. One day we will lift this trophy. But that is, half achieved, because I won it, individually. I would love to win it again as a team.
Another dream. Lovely.
Yes, of course.
So tell me, Anand, I mean, we are talking about dreams coming true and all of that, right? We're talking about celebrations. But what I'm interested in, and I'm very sure many quizzers out there would want to know, how many attempts did it take for you to win the national champion title of Tata Crucible? And the next question would be, how did you prepare? Both.
Like, ma'am, like Rashmi, for statistics, 14 attempts.
Wow.
But on
I admire your commitment to the goal. Go ahead.
On a serious note, I started in 2011 only, when I joined SAIL Bokaro. Because in the first 3 attempts, you can say that I was forced to go and watch Tata Crucible. I was staying in Kolkata with my friends from those NIT time. And they were very much into the quizzing. So they asked me to come to, with them to see the quiz at least. And I said, I don't want to go. Then they lured me saying that it's in Taj Bengal. You get to visit Taj Bengal and you may get some high tea or good snacks from Taj. So I think that was the motivation that time. And for next 2 years also, it continued in the same way, 2009 and 2010. But after I joined SAIL Bokaro, I don't know, something suddenly happened. We went to Ranchi for the prelims. And in the very first attempt, my team qualified on the stage. And that was something, just the beginning. And that day I decided that this is something I want to do. This is something I will prepare for. And if you are talking about how one should prepare for Tata Crucible, I think it takes a continuous preparation. Like, it cannot happen in a day or two. Like, success comes with a lot of hard work, toiling and all. But the most important thing is, I think you should enjoy the process. You should never put a pressure on yourself that there should be a target in the mind that I will win this quiz and I should win this quiz. You should prepare accordingly, but you should enjoy the process. And if one is a beginner, you want to start for Tata Crucible, I think the best thing you people have done is put on all the videos on YouTube. So one can get the idea of what kind of questions are being asked at Tata Crucible. And for a beginner, for a business quiz, not for Tata Crucible, I would say that they can start from their home. Like, if when you wake up, you go and brush your teeth using whatever brand you are of toothpaste. Go and read about that brand. You are sitting in a balcony sipping the tea. Go and read about that brand. Which company is behind this brand? What other products do they make? Who is the CEO? How this company started? I think it's a very very interesting. When I prepare, I weave a story behind, like all the story of that brand, and make a story in back of the mind, because you can't remember everything. But when you make a story, I think that that helps in a long way or long term. Like you remember the story, like in a childhood, we listen to different stories and they still remember it. So I think one should prepare. One can prepare that way, because everybody has got his or her own way of preparation, like exam, like sports, similar in quizzes. But this is the way one can start if somebody is novice or somebody is amateur, hasn't participated ever. Another thing, I believe that participation, like just preparing is not enough. Like it is something like doing reading the theory and not doing the practical. You go in the field, test your knowledge, because you read something, but questions might be asked in some different fashion, different manner. So one need to participate and keep participating. I think one should go for all kind of quizzes happening in the country, whether it's online or offline. I think that is equally important with the participation.
So the reason I said I admire your commitment, your goal, Anand, is because once we get into the corporate world, many of us, for the lack of a better term, once we get to that rat race, it becomes very difficult to follow your passion, and your hobbies or anything that is. And to keep at it for 14 attempts and finally being able to achieve that goal is like, I'm guessing, almost scaling Mount Everest. I mean, I'm sure that must have been the feeling for you when you did that.
Rashmi, last year was the year I decided not to go for Tata Crucible.
Wow, okay.
because I just got transferred to a place where my working hour is almost 12 hours. So I definitely didn't get time at all to prepare for Tata Crucible that year. But my friends, my friends here, Shubham, Rahul, Janishar, Ashish, Rishi, and Ankita, they all told me that, no, sir, you have to go for it. At least you go there, and I think you will win this quiz. So that time I said, you guys are just kidding and all. But it happened, like when I won that cluster thing, and the way I won semi-final. I just answered, I think, one question and one on tiebreaker. For the national final, I got that feeling that yes, I think this may be my day. And yes, I just went for it and I realized my dream. I never thought that this will be too early. My target was of 2024, 2025, not for this year, but it happened.
You can win it again in 24, 25, or even this year. I mean, who stopped you? You can come back and claim the title again for yourself.
Definitely.
No, but I really admire what you have done with 12 hours of work that you have, and with all the responsibilities that you have. You took the time to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, I think in life we need to have such passion because these are the things that keep us going. And it really helps us to keep pace with what's going on around in the world and gives you that happiness at the end of the day. So, Anand, you've actually answered a lot of questions for me in the previous, conversation that we've had. But if there is one tip, one biggest tip that you would want to give all the Tata Crucible aspirants or any quizzers for that matter, what would it be?
I think that's a continuous preparation, because we tend to, like after 1 year or 2 years, we stop preparing because we think that it's not going to click. But you never know that the questions you started with, that might be the question in the, later stages after 7 years or 8 years. So keep preparing and have faith in yourself. And I think that I am the living example that anybody can do that. Crucible is crackable.
Wonderful. That's a nice statement. Crucible is crackable. All right. So, Anand, I cannot conclude this conversation unless and until I get a question from you that is going to ignite the curiosity of all #curious minds. So one question for you, for all of them out there.
So to all the curious minds out there, here's one from me. I'm going to share some details and you have to identify a person of immense repute. He was the first civilian to fly F-16, also called Fighting Falcon, in 2007 during the Aero India show in Bangalore. He co-piloted the combat aircraft which belongs to the US Air Force Block 50 for around 40 minutes. At the age of 69 then, he also became the oldest Indian to fly an American-made aircraft. His assistant fondly calls him the Millennial Dumbledore. Who am I?
Wonderful. Thank you for the question, Anand. I'm pretty sure all of them out there would be waiting to, or rather have already started keying in their answers in the comment section. I mean, I know these quizzes very well. They can't hold it in once they, listen to a question. But yeah, that is how most of them are. So I understand that. All right, Anand, thank you so much for joining us. And we've got some amazing insights from you and some really, really great stories. I mean, my most favorite one is your milkman and your newspaper man. I can't get over that. It's really sweet, but that's my most favorite story of all. Ladies and gentlemen, now you know what Anand did to be the reigning champion of Tata Crucible Corporate Quiz. Are you taking part again this year, Anand?
Yes, I registered yesterday only.
All right. So the reigning champion is back in the game, and let's see if he claims his title again. You know how he prepares himself, and he has also given you some tips. So all I ask from you is register to Tata Crucible, and I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy the process like how Anand mentioned. Keep looking out for more such conversations with curious minds. We will see you soon.